I see through my feed in social media, and I'm connected to a lot of people worldwide, that a fair amount of people are already stressing out extremely. And this message, or this attempt to send the message and connect with you friends who are having a hard time managing this already. I would like to just calmly encourage you to steel yourself and tell yourself to just get ready for this, to deal with this. This is going to go on for a while. And so I understand several things: that people are mourning the loss of their usual routine. Beyond that, many people are freaking out about their jobs, being laid off and not being able to work. Although part of where my calm comes from is seeing the larger picture, which is, well, with this massive economic shutdown, something will have to be done to get us through until things clear up, which is already being discussed. This whole idea of giving people money. Things will happen to attempt to keep society from devolving into civil unrest, which we're going to have to deal with regardless. I mean, it's like, that's not doomsaying. That's looking at human behavior and looking at the situation, and also looking at the reality of the time. We're still dealing with the incubation. This thing has a long incubation. We're just here in my country, in America, we're just in many ways, at the beginning, because we don't have testing. We're at the beginning of understanding how many people have been affected, how many people have been contacted, how many people are have the virus. Not everyone's going to get sick, but we don't even know the true extent of who's infected. So I am not an expert on anything, but I just shared on Facebook, and I want to share it here, that I'm glad that I took it seriously. It's part of my nature, okay? As a little kid, I took religion, to start with, seriously. The whole idea of God and man, and I'll just speak through my own personal experience as a 64-year-old man. So some of the terminology may not be politically correct according to some young people, but that's beside the motherfucking point. So anyway, early on in my life, because of my grandpa and my mom's religiosity and religion and all that, I wrestled with this whole idea of what is right, wrong, what is reality ultimately, what is really going on. And my personal journey has taken me beyond religion to the whole idea of the individual walk with God, whatever you want to call it. I'll use that word so you can identify it. I don't use the term because I like to get cosmic, in my own head. I feel like, this is, again, I'm part of reality. When I die, I have no idea what happens to this consciousness. I'm very curious, but how am I to know? So anyway, because of always being open and being part of my growth and trajectory in life, to always be trying to learn about how to navigate reality and be a decent person, as well as play my role in the community, because I recognized that, part of why they thought I was supposed to be a preacher is actually because I'm a people person, okay? I'm an empath, so I have natural healing I have soothsayer qualities. It's not something that I'm doing or have worked on. What I've worked on is what I'm talking about is my walk, my path, which has helped me to take seriously things that I've learned. And many of those things are helping me with my stress management, mainly to do with my mental outlook on things and understanding that it's my choice to get hold of what I call monkey mind. Get a hold of your monkey mind. One of the terms that I grew up with, old style, is you got a monkey mind. What does that mean? Well, it comes from the idea of monkey see, monkey do, right? I'm generalizing, but you know what I mean. That animalistic behavior, dog pile, right? You know, going to the lowest common denominator and just doing what everybody else is doing. And that's a lot of what's happening with people's stress management and panic behavior and panic thinking. The toilet paper panic buying is a perfect example. It's just completely senseless. No one has been able to explain exactly why toilet paper was the target. Still, we can, anyway. So back to my original point in making this video is I just really want to just reach out and encourage my friends and family. I think most of my Higgins family are a lot like me. My older sister Stephanie. Hey Stephanie, you're like a spiritual teacher. You are a wonderful support and to me and a wise person. Always, you used to have a way of saying things, and a lot of it comes down to experience. We're all human, so we're fallible. But I appreciate you so much, Stephanie. And what I'm doing is along the same lines. It's part of kind of the Higgins way, It is. My sister Adrian, my brother Pat I was talking to, we're all kind of that kind of person in people's lives. Hold on to your hats. Steel yourselves. Find ways to adjust your lives. Make new routines. That's another thing. Work and school was the routine that has been completely disrupted. It has, for just many, many people. So I'm fortunate because the way that this is affecting me isn't affecting me. I live like this, I go on regular occasion. I can be at home for days without leaving, and it's no big deal. And it could become a big deal if I make it that, and all depending on how things come down. Now, see, here in Omaha and in most places, we're not dealing with militarization and martial law sort of things, but that stuff, I see it, depending on how the virus and our response to it goes, those things could be coming for many of us. Clamp down, actual, like, places around the world are dealing with it where you are forced to stay in your home. You can't come out of your house. What are you doing? Where are your papers? George Orwell, here we are already in many places, So it's like, rather than riling yourself up and railing against it, rail against it and get it out of your system, but then use your head, use your mind, use your sensibilities to handle it, because this is going to go on, and freaking out about it will not stop it. All right, we gotta handle this. I don't talk about it, but I meditate. It's like, have I bumped it up this week? Yes, because it's not like I don't have it as a daily ritual, but I have it as something that I just do, you know. But more consciously, this week I'm meditating, this and spending time in the mornings in silence. That's the other thing that I've shared. It's like I'm in a house full of music, but I don't use this music as a crutch. I do not use it as a simple distraction. This music is a blessing. And so silence is golden, and it's powerful. Being able to sit in silence and find peace with yourself. It's very powerful. So I'm just sharing this information that because of the forced social isolation that we're all dealing with, some of y'all can use this, so go ahead and work on it, and if you haven't looked up this sort of information before, look it up, It has nothing to do with religion. This is more philosophical, actually, and even more than that, we're talking about intuition, learning to pay attention to what they call the gut, which is really your chakras. Listen to your physical body talking to your ass, because it can tell you what the hell you need to do. I do listen to my body. It's partly, this is beyond genetics, I think it's partly why I look the way I do with my ugly ass, but still fairly youthful looking. I'm about to turn 65. I've taken horrible care of my teeth, so that's my downfall. But a big part of it is mental, and mental does help with the emotional. Thoughts and emotion are not the same. Those are two different tracks that we are dealing with, and they can be integrated or they can work against each other. Okay, I'm getting into the long period here where I don't want this to take all night to upload. I want to get this message out. Peace, everyone. Pass it on however you feel you're able to. Try to pass on peace or, a sense of strength. If you have it to pass it on, do. All right? Oh, those things mean different things in different parts of the world. So notice I try to be aware. And yet I can't know everything. I can't know a damn thing, see? I remember I don't know anything, and that's why my mind is open to learn all the time.